There's actually a couple that I wanted to share, but I'll start with this one here. This one is more of a recollection of an experience that I had shared previously, but I was going over it a little bit. And essentially what came into my view, or what I had seen, was I had this memory from a very young age. I was maybe 7 or 8 years old. I was very, very little. And I had this fascination with a lot of the army things, as I've mentioned before. But more specifically, firearms and like firearm technology and weapons and things like that. I used to read books about the weapons of different ages and stuff like that. Well, anyways, kind of going with that, I had made this decision from when I was this young boy, when I had made this decision to become a weapons designer. This was the profession that I had chosen at that time, or that I had this idea that that's what I wanted to do. And so I would do these little drawings, and I had these little ideas, and it was very clear to me that I could do it. Intuitively, I could see the different parts of the firearms going together, and I had different ideas and little things that I could see coming to me intuitively, like almost like a daydream. I could see them, putting them together in the different parts and stuff like that. And anyways, as I kind of continued along that, I carried that for a couple of years, that's what I wanted to do. And it didn't happen until maybe, yeah, around when it was like a 10 or so, or maybe like 11. I sort of got this little hint, or this little idea, almost like as if something was nudging me to take a second look at that consideration. And essentially what I had seen was, as I remembered, was that's something. It was almost like something spoke to me, and it said, that may be what you want to do, but what you need to see, or what you need to look at, is what's going to be done with what you create. What are you creating? And it doesn't just stop with, okay, I make this and then that's it. It's the cause and the effect. And I thought that was very interesting, that from that young age, I was being taught about cause and effect, that it doesn't just stop with the decision. There's the effects of the decision and these things that we carry. Well, anyways, fast forward a few years. At this point, I'm probably maybe 17 or 18. I had this opportunity to actually construct a firearm. It was going to be something like that, almost like a DIY project, and I was going to take part. And because I wanted that experience, I wanted to see how it all went together and have that little experience and whatever. Well, anyways, the day before that it was to take place, the day before that I was to take part in this little project, I had a real side experience. Where essentially what was happening is I was seeing the whole piece, or the whole thing of it, on the workbench or in the vise, and I was drilling a hole in it to fit a certain pin. Well, what I had seen is as the firearm came to completion, as this weapon was created, it was taken from my hands and it was taken somewhere else. And what was happening during the creation process of it, during the hole drilling process and so on, was I started to get a tumor that was forming in the lower right part of my jaw, right around sort of the back part and creeping towards the front side teeth. And it was very small at first. It was very small, maybe like the size of like a dime. But the more that I did, the more that I put this firearm together, like in the physical sense, going through that, as I had seen on the real side, it got bigger, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger till it was the size of a quarter, until then it was like the size of like a golf ball, and then it became like the size of a softball. And that was at the point of its completion. And when it was taken away from me and given to another individual, because again, it was not for myself, it had actually developed into cancer. It was going to be a type of mouth cancer or some kind of cancer. And all of the sudden, from the right-hand side, as like a guide came in, I don't know if it was Rebazar, Paul, or somebody, but they came in and they said, if you go through with this, if this is something you want to do, you need to be prepared to deal with the effects, because this device or this weapon that you're building is going to be used to murder somebody. Even though that's not what you intend to do, or these things, that's what it's going to be used for, you know? And so if I take part in the creation process of it, I would have to deal with the effects. And the reason it would sort of become so in the part of the mouth or the jaw area is because that's where the individual who was going to be the victim of this act, that's where they were going to get hit. And it would ultimately destroy them and end their life. So I was seeing what would happen to me, myself here, and of course that individual who was destroyed. So just looking at these little cause and effects, going over these old experiences that I've had, that was the first little experience I wanted to share. I don't know if Duane, you wanted to comment, or if anyone has comments.
Yeah, it's very good, Jeremy. And I would suggest again that you create a Skype group and let people know your experience. Very simple, because again, it's very real. And yeah, people are into inventing all kinds of things and they don't see the outcome of it. They're just thinking that, oh, I invented this, I did a rocket ship, I worked on the atomic bomb, you know, with the military. They're thinking that all the stuff is really a great big deal, but it's all nuts, because again, it doesn't focus on what's all natural, does it? It's just that simple. And so this is what we're sharing with others and doing in regards to that. Now you have the awareness. So no, that's good. You need the experience to show you what not to do. That's very important. So you were shown and you were aware enough to follow through and pay attention that, yeah, this is where it leads, and it's not going to be good, even though, oh, gee whiz, you can do it and build your erector set and do whatever, but no, it's not going to be good at all. So this is where people need to learn to intuitively pay attention to that part of themselves. And so again, this is where I'm, replacing the idea of dreams. You know, people keep referring to dreams, and they are not dreams. It's your intuitive side giving you hints that, there's a better way to do things than just with your mind and what's going on with the social structure accordingly. So no, that's very, very good. Yeah, this is why we're here. We're to help people wake up and also focus on what's all natural. That comes first, and we just do the best we can according to that with what we have to work with here in this junkyard.